this is Chris with another video for Stories in Cardboard. I'm going to continue looking at the 1956 Topps football set here as we do a set spotlight. We're doing cards number 37 through 42 today, which will officially put us a third of the way done with the set, which has 120 cards in it. This first card is Chuck Drazenovich. This is a short print card because it's the Washington Redskins, and as you may know by now, this is one of my favorite color schemes. I love the dark green background with that uniform color. I've actually seen the original photo of this card that was used for this card. It's just an incredible looking photo. It's got some stadium in the background. I'm not sure where the picture was taken, but it's just got great color to the photo. It's just a really beautiful photo. If you ever get a chance to look it up, you could probably just Google his name and it'll probably come up. I just love this card. He was actually a really good linebacker and was one of the first middle linebackers ever in the NFL. A lot of people credit Bill George with being the very first, but there's a pretty strong argument that Drazenovich might have been the real first one, as the Redskins played a lot of 4-3 defense in 1954, whereas the Bears really didn't do it that much. Although Bill George was credited as kind of playing that position a little unofficially in a preseason game in 1954 against the Eagles, Drazenovich really played it a lot during the season for the Washington Redskins. Next card we have is card number 38, which is Joe Arenas. I love the blue background on this card with the red old school helmet and the red 49ers jersey there and the old 49er logo up in the right hand corner. He was a kickoff and a punt return specialist, and that's kind of what he was known for, and was really a threat to score every time that he touched the football. And the next card we have is card number 39, which is Lynn Chaney for the Pittsburgh Steelers. After high school, he served in the Navy during World War II. And then after that, he played at Michigan State. He was a multi-sport athlete and is actually considered one of the greatest athletes in Michigan State history. He was drafted in the first round, 8th overall. Very, very productive player for the Steelers. He scored 26 touchdowns in 7 seasons. He was also considered one of the best kickoff returners ever, and definitely during this time period. And his kickoff return average for his career is second only to Gale Sayers. Like many guys during his playing time and during the era of the 50s, he retired early because of an injury. But he was a really, really productive player. And if you watch any old Pittsburgh Steeler films on YouTube or anywhere else, you'll see him getting a lot of carries and scoring a lot of points and touchdowns for the Steelers during that time. Next card is a team card, and I just love team cards because I think there's so many possibilities where you can just dig in and find a lot of interesting things. This is card number 40. You know, you've got some great players on here like Bednarik and Bucko Kilroy. Pete Pihos is on here. Adrian Burke, and we're going to talk a little more about him probably next 2 or 3 videos. I can't remember exactly where he falls in this set. But one thing I like to do with the team cards is I like looking at the coaches. I like seeing who was coaching these guys. And one of the coaches on this card is an assistant coach on defense named Chuck Drulis. He was considered just a brilliant defensive mind during the time that he coached in football. He is actually credited with inventing the safety blitz. He thought it would put a lot of pressure on the quarterback if you had someone who was really quick who could blitz the quarterback. And in 1960, the Cardinals drafted cornerback Larry Wilson. They ultimately made him a safety so that they could run that play with him. And Larry Wilson, of course, ended up having a great NFL career and was in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And a lot of that credit goes to Chuck Drulis, I would say. It's just a great story there, I think. Also on this card, you have Jim Trimble, who I believe has an interesting place in football history as well. If you look at the old football films from the mid 60s and older, you'll notice the goalpost. The goalposts don't look like they look today. They have the two posts coming up out of the ground. They kind of have the crossbar going across and then the two goalposts going up. Today, they look different. And Trimble is actually credited with coming up with the new goalposts that they use today. He thought there was a better way to design them and actually made the design, got it patented, and they first used it in the CFL in 1966, and then the NFL adopted it in 1967. One thing I like about these old team cards from this set as well, I like some of the information on the back. It's got the number of division championships that the team had won, the number of world championships. It's got a little biographical information on the team, and then also some of your career leaders for the team. Some of the things, and at the time they were playing in Connie Mack Stadium. I think just a couple of years later they would move to Franklin Field, which is just an incredible looking stadium if you ever get a chance to look at it. It's still around today and is used for Pennsylvania football games as well as track events. Next card we have is card number 41, Rosey Brown of the New York Giants. Again, I love the red background with the blue jersey from the New York Giants. I think it's a great color scheme for this set. And this is one of 5 Hall of Fame rookie cards in this set. The set actually has 5 Hall of Fame rookie cards in it, which I think really is incredible. That's a really nice little haul of rookies there. When he played his first game for the Giants in 1953, he was only 19 years old. It's hard to imagine a 19-year-old kid playing football in the NFL. Now, during his time with the New York Giants and playing in the NFL, he was just simply one of the best tackles in football and very well may have been the very best. He was just a great, great player. He played in 6 NFL championship games, of course, only winning one in 1956, but he was a huge factor for the Giants during that season as he was the lead blocker for Frank Gifford, Mel Triplett, and Alex Webster. And Frank Gifford actually said, if not for Rosey Brown, that he would not be in the Hall of Fame. So that's pretty high praise there from another Hall of Famer. But he was just a great, great player. And again, this is a rookie card. I just love this card. Last card we're going to look at here is card number 42, Tom Fears. He was drafted in the 11th round in the 1945 NFL draft. He was the first Mexican-born player to ever be drafted in the NFL. He was switched to receiver. He actually didn't play in his first NFL game until 1948 because of military duty. And so he was 26 years old when he played in his first NFL football game. His first 3 seasons in the NFL, he led the NFL in receptions, and in 1949 set the record for most receptions in a season. And then in 1950, he broke his own record by setting a record for receptions in a season, including one game where he had 18 receptions in one game. The 1950 Rams and Chicago Bears finished tied for first in their division. So they played a playoff game, and Fears caught 2 touchdowns in that game, which helped them beat the Chicago Bears and go on to the NFL championship. In 1951, the Rams played their third straight NFL championship game. They had lost the 2 previous, and after losing those 2 previous games, they were meeting the Cleveland Browns in the 1951 NFL championship game, and they ended up beating the Browns as Tom Fears scored the game-winning touchdown on a 77-yard pass play. In 1953, he broke 2 vertebrae in his back, and he just never was the same after that. He never really fully recovered, and I think he ended up I think he actually retired in 1956, if I'm not mistaken. So this not sure if this is his last card or not. For some reason, I think he might have a 1957. I'm not real sure on that. But anyway, after his playing days, he had a long career in coaching, including head coaching stints for the Atlanta Falcons. And he was also the very first coach for the New Orleans Saints. He is a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame and is the first Mexican-born player to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So that's all I have for this. We are officially a third of the way done with this set now. I hope you enjoyed what you saw today, and we'll see you next time.